Great to welcome to the MyBroadband conference, the Executive Product Manager at Huawei. Morgan, how are you doing firstly, and how's the lockdown been treating you?
Aki, I'm good, thank you. Lockdown has been fantastic from many different perspectives. It's been obviously there were challenges, but from a Huawei perspective, we grew quite aggressively last year, which was great for us. Personally, I had a little addition to my family, which has proven to be a
Oh,
wonderful
wow.
arrival, considering the circumstances. So from a personal perspective, it's been great. Business, it's been busy. It's been rewarding. But yeah, you kind of embrace it and you move on and enjoy what you can out of it and just keep pushing forward.
Well, listen, congratulations firstly. Well done on the
Thank you.
results. Well done on the new edition. I mean, this business transformation and this digital transformation, everyone is talking about it. I mean, it's really shifted everything when it comes to organizations, how we do business, how we interact with each other. And at the core of this is big data. And I'd love to hear what Huawei's perspective is on big data and this massive digital transformation that's taking place.
So from a Huawei perspective, so we've come a long way from where we were. Uh, there was a relatively strong focus from an infrastructure perspective for a fair amount of time. But as the world has evolved, and as new technologies have evolved, and there's been new capabilities that have been driven by demand. So we've been able to flexibly adjust to those demands to make ourselves a lot more agile in the marketplace. When it comes to big data, initially they were offering specifically just around from a hardware perspective that would have catered for that kind of need, where customers and business would have been able to adjust what they had on top of it and utilize our infrastructure below it. But we've been agile enough that we've developed a couple of technologies that have brought a lot more sort of bespoke solutions to the market in order to help customers, not just with the digital transformation part of it, but also as far as the giving you the complete solution is concerned. And that would be whether it be an on-premise type solution or whether it be something that's in the cloud. We've been able to adjust to move quite flexibly, and we've been able to encompass a large amount of capability that we're able to take forward into the marketplace.
Okay, no, it's really interesting. I mean, and really, it's a big data is underpinning everything that we do today, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's incredible to think the scale of the way it's happening out there. And I guess with just your comments that you've made, I mean, Huawei is making a huge bet on big data. So, what are Huawei's big data offerings that you have?
So actually, we've taken a two-pronged approach to this. We understand that there is still a requirement for people to have their big data environments resident on their sites, but also with the drive towards cloud, we've aggressively gone towards the cloud as well. Huawei being a cloud provider as they stand. So we have a cloud-based analytical engine that we can run that will enable customers or corporations to use cloud enablement, cloud data lakes, etc., in order to benefit from big data. But we also have expanded that portfolio where what we've done is we've allowed ourselves to provide a solution for a customer that is tailored for them on site, so that they can, if they have a big data drive that they are establishing within their business, that we are able to provide the infrastructure around that will assist them in also moving that strategy forward. So it's not a case of, okay, well, it's just one, and it's bespoke for the specific need. So we're able to quite flexibly adjust to whatever the big data requirement may potentially be from a corporate perspective.
So Morgan, how does it actually work? Let's say I want to use the big data services that Huawei has. How does it actually work for me as a customer?
So what Huawei drives quite aggressively is a hand-holding exercise with our customers to understand what the requirements are, and then what we do is we can offer either one of those two solutions as I kind of mentioned. So Fusion Insight, which is our cloud-based big data analytics platform, or we have that hardware platform that I was mentioning it's called a Fusion Storage. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twister. Fusion Storage Pacific 9550 storage platform, which is what
Wow.
ties into. I know,
That is a tongue
I know.
twister. Try and say
So
that
yeah,
again.
and I'll try and say it fast. So it's an Ocean Store Pacific 9550. She's nearly platform, which is built specifically around that big data analytics capability. So what we do is we engage. We have a couple of consulting exercises that we can do to best design a solution which we would feel would be a best fit. If a customer has a very distinct cloud strategy, then what we are able to do is we can take the Fusion Insight platform that is resident on our cloud, and we can tailor it to be specific to their requirements. We can, we are able to integrate applications on the top of that will allow them to benefit from the cloud platform, to gain the insight that they need out of that kind of environment. And with the on-premise, with the Ocean Store Pacific 9550, what we are able to do is, we can build it specifically to the requirements that the customer is going to have. To give a sort of, and I know it is relatively broad-based what I'm saying, what we tend to find is that each requirement is very different from the next. So it's easier for us to engage at that consulting level to understand what the requirements will be, what are the results that are going to be derived out of it, and then how we can build it to best give you the results that you are trying to obtain. It's not a one size fits all kind of solution, I think, is what I'm trying to get at. It's the ability to adjust to exactly how you as the customer would want to create the platform to best get the results that you're looking for.
Okay, now that's very interesting. So you tailor make that specific solution for the customer, which is great to hear. I mean, how does Huawei position itself and its ecosystem to your customers?
So, and that's a very good question. As Huawei being who we are, and I mean, we're a massive corporate, and we have many strings to the bow. When it comes to the criticality of positioning ourselves as a partner of choice, I think where it needs to differentiate slightly from some of our competitors, perhaps, is that we have to position ourselves as an aggressive technology partner that is in it firstly for the long run, that can provide the kind of solutions that will give you that old one throat to choke kind of element. But on top of that, it's a technology partner who's very involved with your journey, with your transformation. We've been banging on about digital transformation for a couple of years now and how we can assist. But we position ourselves as a global market leader across the board, from a technology perspective. We've got big data, we've got storage servers, we've got RP. So we encompass ourselves as an all-in-one strategic technology partner that can plug gaps where you may potentially have them, based on that consulting exercise, and that we are not a hit and run kind of organization. So we are invested for the long term. You can see that with some of the engagements that we've got with some of the customers in South Africa. So we're not a hit and run kind of organization. We're very focused on building that roadmap with the customers to ensure that if their need is A, we can provide them A, and if it stretches out to D, we can provide them everything in between. So it's the strategic technology partner play that we like to take as a hand holding. We're in this for the long run. We believe in the strategy. We can help you define that strategy. We have critical skills within the organization that are able to roadmap this with you, to build it out for you, to build it to a bespoke mechanism or a bespoke requirement. It's not piecemeal. It is very much that all wrapped into one. The services, the capability, and it's that conversation and how we position ourselves, which has become excessively critical to how we are going to market with the solution sets that we have, and big data obviously being one of those.
No, it's interesting. I mean, I've been watching Huawei evolve over the years and been to your headquarters in Shenzhen, and it's amazing to see how the company has now just broadened. I mean, you basically offer anything that businesses need, cloud, big data. I mean, you name it. You can come
Correct.
there and get anything you like for this digital transformation that we're seeing at the moment. When you look at the
Correct.
current global trends, what are you currently seeing from the Huawei perspective with regards to current global trends?
Very good question. The fourth industrial revolution is something that has been around for a while now, and that's if you look at hype cycles, that seems to be consistently at the top of the hype cycle, along with the digital transformation journey that most people want to undertake. I think where we've come from the global perspective after what has occurred in the last, say, 16 months or so, 18 months, and the drive towards, sort of more, well, there's more people working from home, there's less people working in the office. There is a need and a desire to have more insight into what people are doing, based on the fact that, I'm sitting at home, I'm not always working per se. I might be looking for stuff on Google, and again, that's where that big data play comes in. The trends have almost been turned on their head. We've seen a massive drive towards cloud enablement within corporates, but we've also seen a massive drive towards retaining their own infrastructure. So you've got there's a balance that has evolved between the two. Being on the front lines as I am, I often have conversations where I'm sitting in a room where the conversation will start off on, this is my infrastructure as it is at the moment, and this is how I want it to evolve, but I need a component that's going to incorporate something like cloud. So whether it be hybrid cloud or private cloud or public cloud, or there is that big data play again, or there is IoT. There is such a mishmash of trends that have evolved in the last 12 months after the severe onset of Corona. It's definitely been driven towards having I'm trying to drive a strategy, but my strategy isn't going to include 4 or 5 different things. So I think that the big trends that we're seeing at the moment is explosive data growth. There is a massive drive towards cloud consolidation. There is massive drives towards people retaining their own infrastructure on premise, with a little bit of I'm just going to dip my foot in the water from a cloud perspective. There has been massive growth in all of those aspects. And for me, what has been really, really important out of this is that, from a cloud perspective, you still need what I have to offer. You still need infrastructure in order to build a cloud platform. So it's definitely become a mishmash of trends that doesn't seem to be tapering off at all.
That's insane, and the speed at which it's going at is quite insane, and that's just what's happening currently. When you look at future trends, I guess we're going to continue on the same trajectory you've just spoken. I don't know if we're going to continue at the same speed as we've grown over the last year, but it certainly looks like it's going that way. You just touched on the global trends. What do you see as future trends evolving?
So I definitely see that the cloud space is going to grow significantly. I think what we've seen as the workforce has divested from being in an office, and more and more people are working from remote locations, so that requirements to have a connectivity based or accessibility based platform like a cloud, as an example, the demand on that has grown significantly. And one of the benefits of that is connectivity. So anybody that's providing fiber connectivity or whatever, they're seeing a massive boost in their business as well. So I think that the cloud scope is going to grow significantly. The on-prem infrastructures will probably stabilize. People will invest, but they'll sweat assets for slightly longer as their cloud strategy tends to take a bit more of a foothold. I think that you will see more and more. IoT has been around for a while, but I think IoT is going to start exploding significantly as well. And to go back to the beginning of the conversation, I think that the big data and the use of analytics is going to become a massive trend moving forward. The ability for me to understand what Aki is interested in, and what he is researching, and what he's buying, and how I turn that information into a financial reward for me. It's as that workforce again has become very remote. I think we're going to see a massive growth in the use of big data and the platforms around it.
Absolutely fascinating. Morgan Malyon, Executive Product Manager at Huawei, sharing those insights into the current trends and what the future trends are going to look like, and what offerings Huawei has to help their customers achieve those particular goals in certainly challenging times and fast-moving times when it comes to this digital transformation that's happening at breakneck speed around us. Morgan, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us at the MyBroadband conference and sharing your insights.
Thank you, Aki, and thank you for your time.